Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is Better Builder's Wands, a small mod designed to save you a lot of time in building, constructing, or just in general, filling in some holes. So as you can see here, Better Builder's Wands is made of 4 simple items, 4 wands to be precise, each one with very basic recipes. Allow me to demonstrate these as we go along. Now the first one is going to be the stone wand, which if I look up wands, I've got a few on here. The recipe is very simply just cobblestone and a couple of sticks. It's very basic, but it will place 5 blocks at a time in a horizontal manner only. It will not place on top of or underneath any blocks, and it will only place 5 at a time in a line. It will not place them in a cube per se, but you can constantly just repetitively spam them, depending on the number of blocks, of course, in your inventory. It will totally be used up when you reach 130 blocks placed. Now, fluid will also stop it, and in this case, I will actually grab a bunch of let's just grab some stone here. Or rather, in this case, I'm going to grab a bunch of this glass that I'm using on display. Now, this stuff here is transparent. I did it just so you could see through it for reference, but I also outlined it with a line of just some stone slabs so you could see the area that it will actually cover. Now, 130 blocks, if you look here, ignore these 2 strips at the end, will cover this small area here in a flat line. Now, it will not place underneath or on top or vertically in any manner, so it's not going to work that way. Now, it will, however, be stopped by fluids, and the confusion on that, it's not too bad. There are a couple modes that you can get into with the wands here. Now, if I press, in this case, the hotkey is F. For fluids, it will say fluid stop. Stopped by fluid does not build through fluid of any kind. You don't have any other option. That's all there is on this. I can also potentially use the other hotkey, which in this case is going to be M. It may be different for you. You can always change your hotkeys in your options. But if I choose M for mode, it will go horizontal. But that's all the option there is for this. It is just a simple stone wand, and it can help you build your first, first walls or something very simple like that at practically little to no cost. Now, in order for this to actually work, as I'm in creative, it will allow me to build, and you can see that there is actually fluid here. Now, when it stops at fluid, you can see here it actually will not build into fluid. I'm selecting that block, it won't build. So therefore, that is what that actually means when it says it will not build into fluid. And the area I have set out up here is a 10 by 13, just to give an example. Now, if I have more of these to place, let me actually go on the side here so you can see. I can place 5 blocks. That's pretty much it. So therefore, this is the totality of one of these, and this is the size of the strip that you'd be able to place with one of these wands. Now, I recommend that you, at your first opportune leisure. Now, of course, there are a lot of mod packs that are like sky blocks or something like that, where a stone wand is going to be very key to start off at the very beginning so that you can build your first platform and not fall into the void below. But I do recommend that you jump straight into the iron wand as soon as possible, because it's going to make things much simpler for you and give you a few more options. Now, of course, it will also cover a larger area. As you can see here, this being one side, this being another. This is set up in a 10 by 25 area. It will cover 250 blocks for 1 piece of iron and 2 sticks. The recipe for that is going to be extremely similar to the last one, just, iron in place. And it will give you another option for being able to actually place vertically. Now, in this case, you still cannot place on the bottom or on the top of blocks. If you notice, I'm actually placing on the side of blocks here. And this will allow you to place lines of blocks like so. And therefore, you can place them, or at the end of blocks. Like in this case, I could place some here, but I don't really want to place any of the slabs. The slabs are a little bit weird. But you get the idea. This one has a different mode set to it right now. So if I hit M, it'll be horizontal or vertical. Now, it was on vertical before. So if I switch it to horizontal, whoops, hold on a second here. There we go. If I switch to horizontal, it will allow me to place horizontally. If I look on the side here, it is now wanting to place a horizontal line. So I switch my mode type, it goes to vertical, switch back, goes to horizontal again. It's pretty darn cool. I do like it quite a bit. It will allow you to, if you want, you could place, like entire walls just by doing this really quickly. You can place walls, then you could also place a floor underneath your structure. It's very easily with this one simple wand. But it will run out after 250 blocks, and that is what this entire plane here is representing, as well as, before I modified it, this entire plane here. One of those two planes represents the entire use of one wand. And of course, it will place in a 9-block strip. So you can see here, this is how much it will place in one placement. Now, of course, I also have these cubes. This one here shows you a kind of a volumetric space of how much a stone wand will cover if you just fill an entire space with it. So if you're running around filling creeper holes, this one here is going to be the iron wand's filling space. It of course is missing a couple on the bottom because they're not exact cubes. I mean, the stone one is 5 by 5 by 5 plus a strip of 5 extra on the bottom. The iron one is 6 by 6 by 7 with minus a couple at the bottom here. And it was just me trying to make it somewhat cube-like so you could see about how much space these cover. Now, you'll notice that I made some mistakes in here. I didn't want to place some of these. There are some really cool commands that you can actually use, even if you're not in creative like I currently am. And I'll get to that towards the end once we get down there. Now, if we make a diamond wand, which is going to be a really, really good one diamond wand is going to last you a very long time. Very long time. In fact, 1,562 blocks, which is going to be this entire plane here is 1,562 blocks, which is, let me get back down here, 22 by 71. And if you switch it to the vertical plane, it is going to look like this. So you can see exactly how much one diamond wand will build before it breaks. Now, there are other options with the diamond wand, though, that make it almost invaluable. If you notice here, I can place on top. And bottom. It's great. Now, you can switch your modes to horizontal, vertical, which we've already discussed both of those, north, south, east, west. Now, if you look here, I've got it set on east, west. That means it's only going to place east, west. It's that simple. It's only in an east-west manner. So therefore, that's the only way the line's going to go. Now, you notice I switched directions that I'm facing, but the line stays the same. Really, really cool there. Now, switch the mode again. North, south, plus vertical. So therefore, I can actually do this in an entire plane. You also have your east, west, plus vertical. And of course, you're going to have your no lock, which means that it's going to try and place blocks wherever it can, understanding wherever you want it to be placed, like in an entire space. So with this, you can place on the sides, you can place on the top or bottom, you can place in an area. Also, you can set it for north-south or east-west directions so that you can have orientations in specific directions and not have to actually worry about turning yourself to face in different ways. And it also has a fluids stop ability. Whereas the iron wand did not have that either. Fluids would stop it. So to give an example of this, let me just jump all the way down here and let me choose my F for fluids hotkey. Ignore builds through fluids. So therefore, if I want to, I can start building on the side of this sand and just fill in this water without an issue. It's pretty darn cool. Of course, that could cause issues there, but hey, if I build above this, I just filled in that water source block and it is destroyed. Now, remember, I'm in creative right now. These wands are only going to fill the space that you are using with the amount of items that you have in your inventory, and they will only build on like items. So if you don't have something that matches that item in your inventory, you will probably not be building it unless you're in some kind of creative mode. Now we get into the perfect wand in my mind. This one is really awesome and dangerous at the same time. It is the Unbreakable Wand, which, in case you did not know, the recipe for the diamond wand is just a diamond at the top of 2 sticks. And the one for the Unbreakable Wand is going to be another star on top of 2 sticks. And this one actually has multiple crafting options. Now, first, let me discuss what the mod does, and I will go into that orientation shortly. It will place 4,096 blocks at a time. And to give you an idea, let's just back up here. You can see how much the diamond did in one placement, and that would waste the entire wand. And the Unbreakable Wand will not break. It will just place all this in one placement. And if you're unsure how much that really is in a vertical manner, it's all this in one placement. That's a lot of blocks, just one placement. For example, boom, I just placed a whole lot. But I'm only in a certain mode right now. So actually, no, I'm not. It's not the certain mode. It's because I'm not in creative mode. So let me get back into creative mode. Place again. And there we go. We now have an entire plane of this filled with that. It was my mistake. I did not have enough blocks in my inventory, as I had warned. You need to make sure that you have that. And you can actually do it again. Now, let's say that you did that and you're like, oh, crud, I accidentally clicked twice, or there was some kind of server lag or something, and you didn't want quite that many. That's a lot of blocks to run around and break, and this is not a destruction wand. Well, there is an oops option that I learned from the author of this wonderful mod, and that is / wand oops. So if you type it in, wand, capital OOPS, it will undo your last option, but it will only do the last single option. So if you do this too many times, well, you're kind of SOL, but it's still a fantastic thing, especially when you've got this top tier wand. Now, this one, of course, will build in top, all the previous styles, on the sides, on the top, north, south, east, west, in an area. Plus, it has infinite uses, and it can be switched to fluid or non-fluid modes. And it's really good in that manner, but it has further things here. Let me get on here and switch my mode back to survival here, and I will show you the recipe for this here, and that's going to be, of course, you already know, another star on top of 2 sticks. If you take 2 of those together, craft them together, assuming that your configs are set for this, you could make an unbreakable wand that places 8,192 blocks at a time, which would be twice this. Twice. It's ridiculous. But also, I keep hitting the wrong button. If you take 2 of those and craft them together, you could craft one that places 16,384 blocks at a time. That's a lot. That's a lot of blocks. That's a lot of blocks. And once again, to show you the cube sizes of the diamond wand is going to be, let's see, what is the size for this one? This one is an 11 by, boy, sorry about getting dizzy. 11 by 11 by 13 cube minus 11 pieces at the bottom there, just so that you get an idea how much an area 1 diamond wand can fill. And then if you have an infinite wand here, now this is just the amount that it can be placed. It's a 16 by 16 by 16 cube. And that is pretty darn big as well. And just to give you a comparison, I'm going to jump into my mapping program, which for those that are curious, it's Journey Map. And I'm going to jump in here, and I've got it zoomed in a bit so you can see. Now at the top here, we've got the amount of entire space that I'm pointing to with my mouse cursor that a stone wand can cover in an entire stone wand. One placement is this little line. Then you've got the entire placement of an iron wand before it breaks is this. And that it will place 1 line like this at a time. Now the diamond wand can place and will break at this entire amount here. So you can place all this and it will break the wand, but it will also place that much at once. And then of course you've got the infinite wand, which tier 1 will place this massive behemoth of space here. It is incredible. It is incredible. So I hope you enjoyed today's bit by bit on Builder's Wand. On Builder's Wands. If so, please be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, spread the mischief to others. And don't be afraid to, give a shout out to Portablejim, the mod author of this wonderful mod, as well as a ton of other wonderful and useful mods for modded Minecraft. And until next time, folks, I'll see ya.